Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here, Moss Pawn and Gun. Today we're making another gun gripe video for you, but today we're reporting from the man cave here. Moss has been doing some inventory up there, which we haven't been involved with, so with their inventory taking, we haven't really had a chance to get into the shop to make many more videos like we would like to. But we will be getting back into the shop, making some more stuff soon, just so you guys know. But gun gripe's been going well. You know, we still have a lot of ideas. And we thought that we'd make a gun gripe about this crazy, and you guys are just going to really flip over in your chair when you hear about this, but it's a proposed ammunition online sales regulation or regulatory type thing they're trying to do. You might as well call it a ban, because essentially what they're more or less looking to do in a way is really ban online sales by making it essentially prohibitively impossible to conduct business.
Yeah, pretty much. This is from, using a little cheat sheet here, Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, Democrat out of New Jersey, go figure, has introduced the Stop Online Ammunition Sales Act of 2015. Basically what the bill entails is if you wanted to buy a certain quantity of ammunition online, whether it be a couple hundred rounds or 500 rounds or whatever the case may be, you would have to present photo identification in person. Right now, a lot of companies require photo ID to be faxed or emailed over, okay, before they can actually process the sale. But this bill would basically state that you have to show ID in person. So if we're in Georgia and we're buying ammunition out of a company out of Utah, we would order the ammo, but we would have to somehow get there in person to show our ID before they could ship the ammunition. Plus, if you purchase more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition online within 5 consecutive days, the company is supposed to flag you to the ATF or law enforcement as a possible malicious suspect because you're buying such a quantity of ammunition. And the only thing is, okay, you're buying this ammunition for a malicious call or a malicious act. What about all the guys that do competitive shooting all the time? I mean, guys that shoot 10,000 rounds a month. Right. You know?
Well, here's the kind of the long and short of it, guys. It really is a bunch of regulatory horse crap, yes, at its heart, but you have to kind of look deeper than just what the law is entailing, what they're kind of proposing as a law. And it's that they want to proactively punish you for being a supporter of guns and for being a gun person. You know, the thing is when you ask someone that's not a gun person, like, yeah, you know, I went down to the local such and such and I bought 1,000 rounds of ammunition. They go, 1,000 rounds of ammunition? Holy crap, that's a lot. You know, it sounds like a big number. So they give it this number, oh, well, they magically arrived at the 1,000 round mark. And like it, because 1,000 sounds like this big number or whatever. So again, you know, not understanding that if I just go to the local gun shop and buy 2 bricks of 22 ammo, which unfortunately is pretty difficult to freaking do right now.
Yeah, still.
If I go and buy that ammunition just for me and my son to go shoot for the weekend, well, guess what? I bought over 1,000 rounds and I shoot that up in one weekend. So I think a lot of anti-gun people that just aren't gun people, they don't get it, they don't understand. You know, they somehow think that 1,000 rounds is a lot of ammo, but it's really not.
The sponsors and co-sponsors of this bill used the tragedy in Aurora, Colorado, at the movie theater, you know, to their full advantage in the structure of this bill, basically stating that, well, the suspect in that case, you know, he bought the ammunition online and amassed the quantity of ammunition online to go and commit that heinous act. But he could have just as easily gone and bought it in a local shop. You know, anybody who is worth their salt can go into a local shop and buy the ammo if they want to do something bad with it. It doesn't really matter.
Well, but see, again, though, you know, that's even a bad attitude to have overall, even just assuming that, because basically they want you to assume that because somebody buys any quantity of ammunition that they're automatically going to be, you know, out doing something bad with it. I mean, it's the equivalent of saying, okay, I go to a knife shop and I buy not only one awesome steak knife, but I buy 10 awesome steak knives. Okay, well, that's like saying that because I went and bought 10 butcher knives or 10 steak knives, that I'm going to go out and kill 10 people with 10 knives.
What I'm getting,
like, it's so stupid.
What I'm trying to get at is that you're not going to be able to stop somebody by a little bit of regulatory headache. You know, if someone wants to commit a heinous crime, they want to do something bad, they will find a way to do it.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, you've got all these people out there, you know, like us, just regular gun guys. 1,000 rounds isn't anything. I mean, hell, you know, guys go out to the trap range and they'll shoot 1,000 rounds over a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and
hone their skills.
Yeah. So you're buying 1,000 shot shells. Oh, you know, you're gonna get your street sweeper out and go and mow down, mow down the city. You know, mow down one square block in New York
Right.
or some crap like that. You know, but you think about, all right, 1,000 rounds. All right, think about 1,000,000 rounds. All right, some guy like for example, Jerry Mitchell. I can't imagine how many millions of rounds the entire family goes through in one single year of competitive shooting and practice.
There's no telling.
I mean, 1,000 rounds, really? Give me a break.
Well, and here's the thing too. You know, you talk about round counts, and they make it out. Oh well, it's the same deal as, okay, well, the quantity of ammunition being compared to the rate of fire of a firearm, or the amount of ammunition that a magazine is capable of holding. All of these things are completely bogus and don't make any sense at all, and don't matter to anyone unless they use emotion and not logic to make not only decisions, but unfortunately, in the case of some of our representatives, make laws. So,
well, they tug at the heartstrings of
Right.
people who are, you know, possibly their constituents and whatnot, and usually these bills originate in, you know, more blue-controlled territory, and that's usually the case. California, New Jersey, New York. I mean, look at all the proposed legislation, and even some of the legislation that's gone through out of blue states.
Yep.
It's just the fact of the matter.
another thing that pisses me off so much about everything that's set up with this potential ban is that, well, now it's online sales. But what's going to happen when they go, oh, well, online sales, we did this and we did that, and we made it so much harder for people to buy ammunition in any quantity. Oh, well, now we want to go after like dealers directly, and oh, well, you keep a ledger or a log. You know, some states have a card that identifies you as a firearms owner, and
FOID cards.
A FOID, you have to even present that just to buy ammunition, which is complete crap. I mean, what about the guys that hand load?
Yep.
I mean, are they considering that? So what if I go and I buy 10,000 primers, which is not a lot of primers. 10,000 primers is not a lot. Anybody that hand loads will tell you that to buy 10 or 15,000 primers at a time is not a huge deal, because sometimes you find a good deal on them, you find them in quantity, you find them in stock, and the places you find them will let you buy them. You know, hand loading components, reloading components have been difficult to get in recent times. So yeah, if I find, in fact, like right here in my gun room, I've got a couple of 50 BMG primers I picked up, some powder. I mean, so what? Are they going to say that if I order powder, primers, and all of the things to make ammunition in quantity, that all of a sudden I'm some loony bin? Hey, guess what, geniuses? I don't have to make it all at one time.
Well, you know, we go on we go on a website like Widener's, and you can buy 6,000 55 grain projectiles shipped to your door.
Right.
You know, and I mean, are they not going to regulate the components of ammunition, but just the ammunition itself? Oh,
Yeah.
well, there's not really a lot you can do with just bullets and brass and primers and powder. I mean, you know, who's
Yeah.
going to sit and make 1,000 rounds to really give me a break?
The thing is, like, all right, well, guess what? Again, these people that come up with these crazy things. I hope they're watching this video. I have literally like 2,000 pounds of lead. So that's enough lead to last my entire lifetime. I've got bullet molds for so many different bullet diameters. I can make any round of ammo I want.
Just in the past few months, I mean, we've smelted down and made into ingots about 700 pounds of lead.
Yeah.
Which isn't really a lot of lead.
Not
when
really.
When you consider how many projectiles you can get out of it. But the thing with what we were talking about earlier about the idea of these bills, okay, they tug at the emotional heartstrings of people. Okay, they tug at your heartstrings. You need to move to the real problem, which is gun-free zones. All these things always happen in gun-free zones, and Barry always preached that. Yep. Gun-free zones are the problem. They keep looking at the large radius around the central issue, which is gun-free zones. Eliminate gun-free zones. Allow licensed concealed carry holders to carry within those zones. In states where open carry is allowed, just without a permit or anything. Yeah. Allow people to carry. You see a gun in there, or somebody who wants to do something bad, if they see somebody with a firearm, or they know that there are people there that could potentially harm them, they're less likely to want to commit those acts because of the threat of bodily harm to themselves. Or if they do commit something, if they do go out and try to do something, there's likely going to be someone there who's willing to stop them. So, and that's the bottom line.
And here's the thing, and I've talked about it in previous videos before, guys, and if you're an anti-gun person and you're watching this video, and I know I always say that all the time. I say, hey, if you're anti-gun, I know that there are a certain amount of people that watch these videos that are not necessarily pro-gun, but they may just want to kind of hear some perspective from someone that is. And if I could tell you one thing, it's to understand that the majority of people that are armed in American society are good people, and believe it or not, they would go out of their way and risk bodily harm or worse to protect you. They would. Now, it's just all these things get blown out of proportion. And see, from a legal standpoint, what these guys are trying to do with these laws and everything they put together on a regular basis, it's all about this big word called intent. Intent, intent, intent. The law revolves around this whole thing about intent and proving intent. The ATF loves to throw around this word intent on a regular basis. And guys, here's the thing. Okay, if some online salesperson sees that I bought 5,000 rounds of ammunition. Okay, so the law passes. I presented my ID in person. Say they're in North Carolina, I'm in Georgia. Whoop-de-crap. Go up there, present my ID, and then I'm in his system. I can order what I want. Okay, so he submits my information to the ATF because I bought 5,000 rounds of Mosin ammo because it was on sale. Okay, for one, here's the thing. The ATF can't even figure out... they can't even deal with what they already have on their plate. Okay, they're already understaffed, undermanned, over internal regulation that they regulate themselves with all these crazy interpretations, laws. They're already behind as it is.
Oh, very much.
So you're going to add one more thing onto their plate, which they can't even keep up with as it is. But then two, okay, so let's assume that these people in their little fantasy world actually... in their little fantasy world, every single claim that's sent to the ATF gets investigated by an individual officer. Do you realize the physical manpower, tax dollars, labor, resources that it would take for the government to physically investigate each and every one of those potential terrorists or whatever?
People can't quite fathom those numbers.
It all goes back to intent. Even if, okay, now I'm being, completely speculative here, but even if the intentions were foul, they would have to prove said intention to even get a conviction. So it's so dumb. It makes zero sense. Now,
Well, what else doesn't make any sense is, okay, the representative that sponsored this bill, or basically wrote this bill, she has 2 children. I don't know how many children she has, but I did read a story where her 2 sons were convicted of armed robbery.
Oh.
How about that for irony? She wants to help prevent senseless acts of violence or senseless tragedy.
But she can't keep her own kids in check.
Hey, it is what it is, you know.
You really just have to look at the types of people that sponsor these bills, that write these bills, that try to get these things put through. And guys, it's probably not going to go anywhere, but don't assume that. Call all your representatives.
Spam the crap out of them.
Spam the crap out of them. Voice your opinions, because people, it's guys like you who have their ears to the ground. That's an old Indian term. An Indian brave having his ear to the ground, he can hear the buffalo stomping for a long way with a good keen ear. Mm-hmm. Always have your ear to the ground to know when these things are approaching, so you can get out of the way or push them out of the way or redirect them or do what you need to do to not have to fall victim to these kind of things. And ultimately, it is a form of victimizing. You are being made a victim by being deprived of your rights. And okay, what if the quantities of ammunition that you're ordering are so you can practice with your defensive handgun to save your life? You know what I mean? What if the quantities of ammunition that you're ordering are so that your grandson can learn how to shoot really good because he's got a competition next weekend? Guys, again, it's all about intent. It doesn't matter what you're using the ammunition for. It makes zero sense for them to have any type of regulatory clout over us when it's all about intent. They can't just proactively assume that you're going to do something wrong because you have ammunition in quantity. Oh, okay, Well, I have enough gasoline in my car because I have a full tank. I can drive my car 350 miles.
That's
Dude,
too far.
That's a lot. I can run. Do you realize how many people I could run over in 350 miles? But is that regulated?
No.
Should I only be able to buy a gallon of gas at one time?
Well, all right. You got to think
Dude,
about.
it's so dumb.
You got to think about another bigger picture is the U.S. economy as it sits. Okay, firearm sales and just firearms ownership has been going crazy in the past few years. Okay. Yep. Sales have never been higher. There are new companies that pop up all the time, ammunition suppliers, and some of these companies are solely online based.
That's right.
You can't just walk in and buy ammo. They are only online sellers.
Well,
and you will shut them down, and you will cost people their jobs, put more people into the system.
Oh yeah, so and that's what they want.
So what is the benefit of that?
Right.
What is the benefit?
Bear in mind too, this is something I want to add to what Chad just said there, is that these guys that run these large online operations, okay, they sell a lot of ammunition, firearms. Let's just not even look at the firearms picture.
Just
Let's
ammunition
stick to ammunition.
itself, yeah.
Okay. The reason that these guys sell in the way that they do is because they literally have so much ammunition in stock that logistically it would be a nightmare to try to run a physical storefront. From a logistics standpoint, the end consumer gets a better deal when that person who has a warehouse of ammunition, surplus, usually it's surplus, that he bought from whatever, okay, he had it imported. Let's just say that it's some millionaire who makes tons of money and just decides, you know what, I'm going to buy a ton of ammunition, have it imported, I'm going to go through all the regulatory red tape to get it in the country, and I tell you what, I'm going to sell off half of it, but I'm going to keep half of it. Some of them just do that. Okay, understand that. That people that make jobs, people that physically make jobs are people that have a lot of money.
Yep.
Okay, and people just refuse to understand that, okay, that importer that brought that ammo in, they had to cut a huge check to get you the price that you are buying that ammo for.
Well, of course.
Do you think that a Spam can of Mosin ammo is not worth more than $100? Of course it is. But you're getting it cheap because somebody that took the risk and cut the check and they reduce their overhead and run an online business to save you money.
Yep, and see, that's like Eric was saying, people will do that. They say, well, how can I get, you know what, I've got all these mill syrups, how do I get a bunch of ammo just to stockpile or whatever, just to keep and invest? Some people invest in that kind of stuff. They'll invest in quantities of ammunition or types of ammunition that are relatively hard to get, or they might be easy to get now, but may be hard to get in the future. The quantities might dry up.
Yeah.
Like GP11, for example.
Yes.
If you want to buy 20,000, 30,000, 60,000 rounds of GP11, okay, well, I'll buy it, but I want to recoup some of my costs trying to get, having to get it imported and all that, so I'm going to sell off half of it.
Right, and also I'm going to add to what Chad said. I know this video is getting a little bit long, guys, but I want to make it clear. For some of the people that are watching this that might not understand what we're getting at here, there is a such thing as like surplus ammunition. And a lot of what this is really going to affect the worst is the surplus market, because there's a lot of very inexpensive ammunition that's out there that's very high quality. But here's the thing. You might be one of those anti-gun types that are watching this channel, watching this video right now, and you're going, well, okay, well, you got me there, but doesn't ammo have a shelf life? All right, well, I'm going to answer your question there. A lot of surplus ammunition is generally packaged in a very, very long-term fashion. Like usually it's in like a Spam can that's actually sealed, okay? And they seal it inside of a can, and as long as you keep that can in a generally middle-of-the-ground environment in terms of humidity and temperature, that ammunition will literally last longer than you will.
Well, not only the storage of the ammunition, but the manufacturing of the ammunition as well. The primers will be sealed.
Good high quality.
The projectile to the case will be sealed, usually like with a wax coating or like a lacquer coating, that kind of thing. So the ammunition is made to survive the long term.
And some people like the ability, when they have extra money, to take their money and put it into an area that they deem as wise. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not I'm one of those people, but yeah, I've got a few quantities of ammunition. Now, do I buy like 50,000 rounds at a time? No, I may not. But yeah, I mean, is that to say that I might have 5 or 6 or 7 cases of Mosin ammo? Of course I do. I've got 2 PSLs, probably no telling how many Mosins. I've got so many guns chambered in 54R. Well, of course I'm going to have a lot of it laying around.
Lost count.
Oh, I've lost count. But the point is, guys, is that there are a lot of benefits to being able to order ammo online. And think about your dealer right down the road from you, okay? There's a chance, all right, that they might have ordered ammunition in quantity, guess what? Online.
Well, and two, you just made me think of something, but also banning the sale of ammunition online or making it a very, very large headache for someone as a consumer to purchase ammo at a really, really great price online is probably going to allow some of the local dealers to jack the price up. Okay, so you're going to decrease the competitive marketplace, and then people locally say, well, I've got this case of ammo here. You can buy it, but it's going to cost you 3 times what you could buy it for online. Well, damn, I mean, hell, at that point, I'll just drive to North Carolina and show my ID and just save that extra couple $100. It cost me $60 in gas to go there and back.
All right, guys. I know what you're thinking at this point in the video. In closing, this is what I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of a brainchild to think about here, is that all the thought that we just put into debating this, okay, all of the factors that make this a bad idea,
horrible idea.
I promise you guys that the people that are sponsoring this bill have not even the slightest clue how any of this works. They don't care. And I guarantee you they haven't thought about the ramifications on the taxpayers. They haven't thought about ramifications of taxing already busy government agencies, law enforcement. It's a decision, knee-jerk decision that was made with emotion and absolutely zero logic. So you'll find that logic settles into dust when you're dealing with people like this because, I guarantee if those people were here right now, they'd be going,
kidding me?
I didn't think about that.
Are you kidding me? The level of logic was never there. There was no logic. It was just all emotion and no thought process whatsoever.
But, guys, I hope that this video was thought-provoking for you. I hope that you'll take a moment to contact your representatives, spam them, call them, write them letters, do whatever you need to do. But I'm telling you, it's important to make sure you're staying on top of this kind of stuff.
You're not going to see it on the local news.
Nope. Yeah. Nope, you will not see it on the local news because this is the type of information they prefer to suppress rather than put it out there, Now, if it was what was going on at the local riot down the road, you better believe you're going to see glowing HD news coverage of every square angle from multiple angles.
Oh, it would be plastered on every channel out there,
But, remember, guys, a lot of that stuff's put out there to distract you. They want to distract you from the real issues, and it's a sad state of affairs, but that's the world we live in. We have to stay on top of this stuff. I hope you enjoyed today's Gun Gripe. I know this is a slightly different setting than you're used to seeing, but we do have more videos coming from the shop. We'll be doing some gun tours, some firearms facts, more gun gripes, more 5 guns, which we'll probably be knocking out of 5 guns from the man cave here. But I hope you guys enjoy the videos. We really appreciate the support. A lot of you have been coming to Moss and trying to find us. I know we're not at Moss as often as we'd like to be. I'm just going to go right out and say that. I'm not there on a regular basis anymore. It's not that I don't care for the people at Moss. It's not that I don't love being there. But we are taking on so many projects as a channel and as a gun channel and as a production house that some of these videos you've been seeing have kind of been like a step up in quality, a step up in the amount of props we have to build to put them on and put them out there, a little bit more slow motion photography, using a little bit better methods. So guys, all those things take time and preparation to put together to give you guys the finished product. And as a result, we make YouTube videos literally 6 days a week.
Yeah.
We're at it full time in order to put that channel out there to what you guys see on a regular basis. So, I do appreciate the support that I get from you guys. I know Chad does too. And we have much more in the pipeline. We'll see you soon.
Take it easy, guys.